previous videos, we have been discussing Dear Departed Part 1 and Part 2 synopsis. To better understand, I'll give you a clip, a video clip, which is enacted play on the stage. You can observe that video and you can go through your textbook. So line by line, the dialogues appeared on the stage and whose dialogue, whose character, whose role is playing on the stage and in your textbook. Simultaneously, you should see both the clip and your textbook so that you can understand very well. So that in the first clip, I'll show you the first part of the lesson. I mean, Dear Departed Part 1 can be showed in the first clip. The second clip can be continued in another video. Thank you.
She is a vigorous, plump woman, prepared to do any amount of straight talking. She is in black, but not in complete mourning. She listens for a moment and then goes to the window, opens it, and calls into the street. Victoria! Jiggy here? Come in, will you?
Yes, mother? I'm amazed at you, Victoria. I really am. How can you be gallivanting about in the streets with your grandpa lying cold and dead upstairs? I don't know. Be off now and change your dress before your Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Ben comes. It would never do for them to find you in colors.
Aunt Elizabeth, what are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages.
They are coming to talk over poor grandpa's affairs. Your father sent them a telegram as soon as he found he was dead. Good gracious! That's never them! No! Thank goodness! It's only your father. Here, hold it, Amelia. Oh, thank you, Henry. I'm not going to have them wasted. Henry, I have been thinking about this bureau of Grandpa's. That's in his room. You know, I always wanted to have it after he died.
You must arrange with Elizabeth when you are dividing things up.
Elizabeth's dead sharp. She'll see I'm after it and she'll drive a hard bargain over it.
I won't care to.
Don't look so daft, Henry. Why couldn't we put that shabby old chest of drawers where the bureau is now? Elizabeth could have that and welcome.
Amelia, what are you saying?
Henry, why couldn't we bring that bureau down here now? We could do this before they come.
And suppose they come when we are doing it?
I'll fasten the front door. Get your coat off, Henry. I'll move the chest of drawers to his room.
Will you fasten my frock up the back, Mother?
I'm busy. Get your father to do it.
Dad, will you fasten my frock up the back? Hi, I'm Nabamita.
And I'm Abhishek.
We are your master teachers at Vedanta.
We are.
Elizabeth comes
No, my child. Grandpa gave it to your mother before he died.
this morning.
Yes. This morning.
Grandpa was drunk this morning.
You mustn't never say he was drunk now.
I thought I would fetch this down as well. Our clock's worth nothing, and this always appeals to me. Oh,
That's Grandpa's clock.
be quiet! It's ours now. Victoria, don't breathe a single word to your uncle and aunt about the bureau and the clock. Come, Henry.
Okay, Mom.
Victoria, if that's your uncle and aunt, you are not to open the door.
Mother,
ushers in Ben and Mrs. Jordan and their son Jimmy. She is a stout, complacent woman with an irritating air of being always right. Both Mr. and Mrs. Jordan are clad in deadly outfit of new black mooning.
Well, Amelia, and he's gone at last. Yes, he's gone. He was 72 a fortnight last Sunday.
Now, Amelia, you mustn't give way. We have all got to die sometime or the other.
I don't see how.
It might have been one of us.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry.
By the way, it's taken you a long time to get here, Elizabeth.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it.
Couldn't do what?
I couldn't start without getting my morning dress ready.
We have ordered ours, you may be sure. I never could fancy buying ready-made things.
For myself, it's such a relief to get into the black. And now perhaps you will tell us all about it. What did the doctor say?
Oh, doctor, he's not been near yet.
Not be near?
Did you send for him at once?
Of course I did. Do you take me for a fool? I sent Henry at once to Dr. Pringle, but he was out.
You should have gone for another, right, Eliza?
Oh yes, it's a fatal mistake.
Dr. Pringle attended him when he was alive, and Dr. Pringle shall attend him when he's dead. That's professional etiquette.
Well, you know your own business best, but
Stop it, Ben. It's a fatal mistake.
Don't talk so silly, Elizabeth. What good could a doctor have done?
Look at the many cases of persons being restored to life hours after they were thought to be gone.
But that's when they have been drowned. And I remember your father wasn't drowned, Eliza.
there wasn't much fear of that. If there was one thing he could bear, it was what?
Ben!
I'm sure he was regular enough. Father had been married this morning. He went out soon after having his breakfast to pay his insurance.
My word, it's a good thing he did.
He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium.
He must have gone down to Ringo Bells afterwards, for he came as merry as a sandboy. Then he came to Henry and said he'll not have his dinner, and straight away went to his room. When we had finished dinner, I thought of taking a bit of something on a tray. He was lying there for all the world as if he was asleep. So I put the tray down on the bureau, chest of drawers, and went to waken him. He was quite cold.
Then I heard Amelia calling for me, and I ran upstairs.
Of course, we could do nothing.
He left us all.
He was gone.
There wasn't any doubt.
I always knew he would go sudden in the end.
Well, will you go up and look at him now, or shall we have a tea?
Well, then if the kettle is ready, then we may as well have tea first.
But one thing we may as well decide now is the announcement in the papers.
I saw words in the evening news yesterday. Proper poetry it was and it rhymed. Despised and forgotten by some, you may be, but the spot that contains you is sacred to we.
Oh, that will never do. You don't say sacred to we.
You wouldn't say it if you were speaking properly, but that's different in poetry.
Oh yes, poetic license, you know.
Well, we'll think about it after tea. Then we'll look through his bits of things and make a list of them. There is all furniture in his room,
But there's no jewelry or valuables of that sort.
except his gold watch. He promised that to our Jimmy.
Promise to your Jimmy? I never heard of that.
Oh, but he did, Amelia, when he was living with us. He was very fond of Jimmy.
Well, I don't know.
Anyhow, there's his insurance money. Have you got the receipt for the premium he paid this morning?
I've not seen it.
Mother, I don't think Grandpa went to pay his insurance this morning.
He went out.
Yes, but he didn't go into the town. He met old Mr. Tattersall down the street, and they both went off past St. Philip's Church.
To the Ringo Bells. I'll be bound.
The Ringo Bells?
That liquor house that John Sharrock's widow keeps. He's always hanging out there. Oh, if he hasn't paid it,
Do you think it was overdue?
I should think it was overdue.
Something tells me he's not paid it.
The drunken old beggar.
After all I've done for him, to put up with him in the house these 3 years, it's nothing short of swindling.
I had to put up with him for 5 years, Amelia.
And you were trying to turn him over to us all the time. But one thing we may as remember is that he has not paid his premium. Victoria, run upstairs and fetch that bunch of keys that's on your grandpa's dressing table.
In Grandpa's room.
Yes.
I don't like to.
Don't talk so silly, Victoria. There's no one can hurt you.
Can I take Jimmy with me?
Yes.
Come, Jimmy.
We'll see if he has locked the receipt in the bureau.
In where? In this thing?
Where did you pick that up, Amelia? It's new since last I was here.
Henry picked it up one day.
I like it. It's artistic. Did you buy it at an auction, Henry?
Where did I buy it, Amelia? Yes, at an auction.
Oh, second hand.
Don't show your ignorance, Ben. All artistic things are second hand.
Mother,
What is it, child?
Mother, Grandpa's getting up.
Do you see?
Grandpa's getting up.
You better go up and see for yourself, Amelia.
Come with me, Henry. Come. Come.
Listen.
Everyone in the family is startled by the sound of grandfather. Grandpa is just